Wednesday webinar series. Oh my God, try saying that fast. Today's series is on Tour du Mont Blanc, a 105-mile hiking trail through France, Italy, and Switzerland, circumnavigating Western Europe's highest mountain, Mont Blanc, which is so majestic. This is a bucket list hike for myself, and I'm sure for most serious hikers and backpackers. I know it's definitely much easier to do it with a day pack, with a guide, spending the night in the huts and having hot meals throughout the hike, which is the way I like backpacking. I'm not a fan of carrying heavy packs. So to share more about this experience, today we have with us Malika Ranjan, who I think really doesn't need an introduction. Most of us know her and are hugely inspired by her. She is an avid hiker, backpacker, mountaineer with a long list of accomplishments, one of them being Mount Vincent. And she also has done Tour du Mont Blanc and is going to be sharing about her journey with us. Also, after Malika Ranjan, can you hear me? Sorry, I thought I went off. Sorry. We will also be hearing from Pierrick, who is our guide, who couldn't be here because of the time difference. Pierrick has climbed all over the world, but he loves sharing his passion from where he's born, and that's close to Tour du Mont Blanc. We will now listen to Pierrick's pre-recording, and then we will get back to Malika so we can hear more about what she has to say.
So I'm Pierrick. I'm a mountain guide based in Saint-Gervais, just next to the Mont Blanc itinerary. I was born in this small area, mountain area in France. And I will have a very big pleasure to welcome you in my place here in the Mont Blanc area.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much for that. So we're going to do a few question and answers so we can kind of get a better idea of what the whole Tour du Mont Blanc is all about. What do you think is the best time for us to hike the Tour du Mont Blanc?
So the season of the Tour du Mont Blanc is running from early June to end of September every year. Okay. Now it's quite crowded on the 4 months period, but we can say that the best period to hike is early June and end of September because it's the less crowded period. All right. But you should know that early June it is a little bit more challenging because of the snow which can remain on the path, but it's more wild as well, and there is less people. So for me, it's a very best period to come, like as early June. Yes.
Oh, that sounds good. And how's the weather generally like at that time of the year? Is it really hot? Is it pleasant?
Yeah, it's very pleasant. As you know, it's changing every year. It's very difficult to say, but now from June to September, we have now quite the same weather all around these 4 months. Okay, before we used to have like storms or things like this in August, but now it can happen even in June or September. So yeah, the people coming on the Tour du Mont Blanc, they have to prepare for hot people who can go until 30 degrees Celsius in the valley at the maximum, or as well as 0 or -5 at the pass. Okay, so it's difficult to answer, but generally they have to be quite flexible on this temperature. Okay.
So basically, they have to make sure they have all the necessary jackets and everything in case the weather changes. Yes.
Yes, of course. Yes, they should have some gears prepared in the backpack. Okay, always like a jacket and like even some gloves or a hat, just in case that the weather change. You know, in mountain, the temperature can drop quite suddenly. Okay, from 10 to 0 in 1 hour. Okay, so yes, it's we have more and more heat in the summer, but mountain still here and it can go a little bit freeze sometime.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. So how many days do you think generally you would need to complete the trek?
So the trek, there is many ways to do the Tour du Mont Blanc. The full route, the entire route, can be hiked in 10 days. Okay, so we organize it from Chamonix to Chamonix in 10 days with the entire route walking. Okay, no transport, no transfer. This is the best solution for the people who want to see all the mountain, all the area, the 3 countries. Okay. One very popular itinerary is a 7 days one, okay, because it's just a week, and during this week you will experience the best days of the Tour du Mont Blanc in the 3 countries as well. But there will be like one transferred in Switzerland, and you will miss as well the Aiguille Rouge, which is the massif above Chamonix. Okay, but in the 7 days, you will see the best days of the Tour du Mont Blanc. And another one which is quite interesting as well is a 5 days one. Okay, which will start in Italy and finish in Chamonix. Okay, this part is very interesting. In 5 days, you will see only the north part of the massif, and it is possible also when you do this for the next year to complete with another 4 days from Chamonix to Courmayeur. So this is quite interesting for the people who, for example, come in Europe and have only a few days and want to do it in maybe 2 years. Okay, so that's the main itineraries of the Tour du Mont Blanc.
Okay, so yeah, that's quite a lot of options. And do you think in the 7 day you kind of cover all the kind of highlights of the trail? Do you like do most of the nice, beautiful parts of the trail?
Yes, you will definitely cover all the highlights. Okay, because the part that we choose to transfer are the less interesting, or the one where we walk in the valley instead of on the highest point. And but anyway, to make it in 7 days, we have to make choice and cut like the massif of the Aiguille Rouge, which is quite interesting. But yes, we have to make some choice.
Makes sense, yeah. So Pierrick, how fit would somebody have to be able to do the Tour de Mont Blanc, like in terms of their physical abilities?
So this hike is not difficult. It is like we call it a medium level. Okay, the trail is not difficult. There is no climbing. There is no very big drop, or it's a quite it's a sometimes rocky terrain, but not very difficult. Okay, it's what we call the medium one. So the people have to be fit enough to complete, especially if they go on the 10 days. Okay, but if they go for jogging, or if they are like sportive every week active people, normally there is no problem to complete this trek. Okay, we don't ask for any experience before. Okay, we just need a little fitness just to stay fit during the year is enough. After, if the people want to be more comfortable during the trip, it's better to train more. Okay, in doing some cycling, some swimming, or some jogging as well. If you can elevate the training about 3 months before coming, it's very good. Okay, and anyway, the more fit you are, the best experience you will have on the TMB.
Yeah, so good cardio endurance, basically.
Yes, cardio is very important as well.
Yes,
You can train specifically for this as well. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So I know you provide luggage transfer from hut to hut. So how much pounds do you think you'll be carrying as a day hiker when you're doing this? How many pounds on your backpack?
So in pounds, I don't know. It's in kg.
Kgs? Yes.
Yeah, I can answer in kg. So
Sure.
yes, transfer luggage is very comfortable for the person. So we transfer every day the luggage, and it's normally 12 kg maximum per person. Okay, but we don't weight the bags, but it's just to limit it a little bit. Anyway, 12 kg for a week is more than enough for the things to carry.
That's awesome. It's always nice to hike with a lighter pack.
Yeah.
So what would you say, how high of an altitude do we get on the trail? Like, is altitude an issue being on the Tour de Mont Blanc? How high do we go?
So normally not. More than 99% of the people have no issue on the Tour du Mont Blanc, since the maximum elevation is 2,600 meters, okay, which is about 8,500 feet. Okay, so it is still less than the 3,000 meters, which is
Yes.
quite the limit for the people to have like such headache or thing like that. So normally there is no problem with altitude on the way. We will go to this altitude twice during the week, and so the breathe can be a little bit less, but normally we have no issue on that.
Okay, that's good to hear. What is the basic gear that you would need to come with, and what is possible to rent, maybe with your company, or in Chamonix, that would be needed to complete the trek?
So the hikers have to come with their own gears, including like hiking boots. So we recommend to have hiking boots even on the Tour du Mont Blanc. So pants, shorts, t-shirts, and all the personal gears. Okay, they have to have things for sport. Okay, like hiking pants, and it's very good. And it is possible to rent in Chamonix, or even with us, such things that like the backpack or the poles, or okay, this is possible because it's sometimes difficult to put in the luggage to come in the flight, right? So this is possible to rent here before, or even to buy.
Okay, that's awesome. That's good to hear. What about the food that you provide on the trek, and do you cater to other dietary restrictions if somebody's vegan or something like that? Is that something that you can arrange for the trip?
Yes, of course. It's very important that we know if there is any dietary for a person. Okay, we can organize any diet. Okay, there is no problem, but we need to know it before the trek to start. Okay, all the breakfast and dinners are taken in the accommodation, so it is European food, which is quite good food, I think. People love it normally. And for the lunch, we cook on our own. Okay, the lunches with local products such as cheese, local cheese, French cheese, some ham, local ham, and some fruits, and many things that we do on our own, fresh product. So people love it generally, but we can adjust to any diet. If some people are vegan, or we can make just some small salad for them, no problem for that.
Oh, that sounds awesome, and sounds really yummy. Now you want making me want to go on to the Mont Blanc.
Of course.
So the other question is, will you be providing water? How much water do you carry every day? And do we need to carry a filter or something so you can filter along the way?
So the filter is not, it is not, you don't have to have a filter because the water is drinkable on the way, okay, everywhere in the hut, or even in some points in the fields, okay, because we provide water for cows, so we can use this water is drinkable as well. So there is no need of the filter. It is advisable to carry from 1.5 to 2 liters per person for a day, okay? But it is possible to refill as well on the way. So if the hiker if you start with 1 liter, 1.5 every morning, you will have enough of water. But it's advised to drink a lot, okay? So it has to be adjusted to the temperature as well, okay?
That makes sense. I know we'll be staying in the refuge or huts along the way. So can you like describe to us like what is the arrangements in these huts? Do they have bathrooms? How does it work?
Yeah. So on the way we'll have different accommodation. Okay, we'll go in some huts, which is quite traditional refuge. So the sleeping room is what we call a dormitory. So it is one bed next to one bed. Okay, so it can goes from 8 to 12 person per room. okay, but it is very comfortable, okay. All the accommodation in the Tour du Mont Blanc now is very comfortable. So it goes from this kind of refuge, which is very traditional, and you will have the chance to speak with the owner, and which is normally family run refuge. And we go as well to what we call some auberge, which is bigger. Okay, it is not hotel, but it's bigger than the refuge, and it can go to 80-90% in the place. And but all the accommodation on the Tour du Mont Blanc is very, very comfortable. So it is possible for the person who sleep in the dormitories, they will have to share the sanitaries, like the shower and the toilets. Okay, and in some places there are some more comfortable rooms sometimes available. Inside we can have the facilities. Okay, it depends on the place, but anyway, all the accommodation in the TMB now is quite very good quality.
Yeah, that is a great luxury to have on a long distance hike, a shower especially, and that's awesome to hear. Anything else you think we should know that we kind of didn't touch base on regarding the Tour de Mont Blanc?
No, that's fine. Just have to come and enjoy. And
I know.
anyway,
Go ahead, sorry.
yeah, no, we will be very happy to welcome you here and to make your travel very nice.
Oh, no, we're super excited and definitely looking forward to, getting people to come there. I know it's on my list, so I'm probably going to end up coming there at some point. And I think all the information you shared was really great and encouraging, and it was very informative. So hopefully, we'll be doing some really good stuff together soon, and looking forward to meeting you. Thank you,
Yeah.
Pierrick.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Pierrick. That was super informative. And if you have any more questions, feel free to shoot it in the chat, and we will try to get to them after we speak with Malika, and she shares a Tour de Mont Blanc experience with us. Welcome, Malika.
Hi. Hi, everyone. That was really informative. Thanks, Chitna, for doing that call with him. I know the time difference sometimes can make it really hard, to go over some things like this.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Malika here. I was looking through the names, and I know a few of you, and I don't know many of you, but I think one of the things we all share in common, the fact that we're here, is we love being outdoors, we love adventures. And I've had the privilege and the luxury of actually going on quite a few different hikes around the world. Happy to go over my experiences, the things I've enjoyed with you at any time. Feel free to shoot me a message. But today I'm just going to tell you a little bit more about the TMB. I think we went over some of the logistics, and hopefully you have had the opportunity to look at the hike as an all, the distance, the countries it covers, some of the pictures that Preeti shared and that are available. But for us, basically, we have a group of friends, and whenever we have a milestone birthday, the person whose birthday it is gets to choose something fun to do. And this is our idea of fun, luckily. So the girl whose birthday it was last year decided she wanted something that was spectacular. She wanted something that was a little hard. And she wanted a couple of friends to come along, like more than 1 or 2 or 3. And that meant catering to the needs of a diverse group of people. And some of the things that popped up there was dietary needs. Some people really did not want to sleep on the floor, as they call it, but wanted beds. But more than that, there were a few who didn't do well with high altitude. So when you're going to things like Everest Base Camp and Kilimanjaro, altitude becomes an issue. But on the TMB, the highest altitude I think we hit one day was in the 8,000 range, where you're definitely not hitting it, at the same altitude as others. So as she was looking at it, this is the one that came up. We found a good time last year to do it, and we decided to go for it. And it was everything that she had wanted. It was spectacular. It was challenging, but it also was fun. It was something that everybody in the group really enjoyed doing. If I had to go over a couple of the highlights, I would say the scenery. You'll see it in pictures, you'll see it in videos, but it's something else being immersed in that. There's plenty of places to take photos or, just to catch your breath and just be wowed by everything around you. I think this is one of the few hikes where I spent more time just lying on the grass, looking up at the big mountains around me, because it was just so breathtaking. Just amazing if you're into photography or just like taking pictures for memories. You'll get plenty of good photo ops. Everything France, Switzerland, Italy has to offer, from the houses to the cows to just beautiful mountains and flowers. The other thing was food. It was interesting because, it is good food. There's French food, there's Italian food, but the access to it, the huts we stayed in, coffee in little huts high up in the mountains for, after breakfast in the middle of the day, beer and wine if you wanted that. And interestingly, there were some vegetarians in our group, and the fact that they never felt shortchanged. It was not just like, here's some extra bread or here's a little bit more of cheese. They actually had great food overall. I mean, sometimes even I asked for the lentil stew or whatever they were getting because it just looked so good. So the food was great, the scenery was great. And the other thing that made it really nice, one of the parts I was really concerned about, was TMB is supposed to be crowded. Like most of these bucket list items, a lot of people have it on their bucket. And I was just worried that it was going to be people everywhere. And there were people, but the places you found them usually were at passes where a whole bunch of people accumulated and like kind of collapsed to take a break, have lunch, catch their breath, see the views. And then at refuges and hostels where everyone again collapsed to eat and gather together. And what I realized was that once I embraced the fact that there are people there, it became a really fun part of the trip. I made friends. We kept meeting the same people. We shared stories. I'm planning a trip with somebody I met on the trip. So once you embrace that part and realize you're there because it's something you wanted to do, there are many people like you. And embracing that really changed both the part that I was scared about and what I got out of it. And from a people perspective, there were 5 of us friends that went, and I think it just brought us closer. The more time you spend with your friends, the more memories you create, the better it is. So for us, we ended up creating a lot of memories. I think that's gonna keep us happy for a long time, or at least till the next trek. So I'm here to basically answer any questions you have based on the experience that I've had on the TMB.
Thank you, Malika. That was super exciting and informative. It's like I want to go ahead and be there right now. You made it sound so amazing. So Malika, we have a few questions. How did you end up training for something like this, and like, what would you advise somebody who's never done a multi-day hike? How do they embark on being ready for something like this?
So a couple of good and things. The fitter you are for anything, the fitter you are, the more fun you get to have. Like, you're not spending your energy and time stressing out about how the day is going to be. If you're going to be the slowest, if it's going to be hard, the fitter you are, you just kind of go and have fun. You're the one taking pictures, you're the one laughing. So I'd always say invest in your fitness. It just makes every trip fun. And remember that Germans and French are generally fitter. So when people say it's easy, It's not easy. It's not hard. It's not the hardest thing you'll do. It's not mountaineering. It's not rainier. But definitely train for it, because it's not easy. You are getting up every day and climbing a mountain. And then you're resting in the evening. You're usually done by 3 o'clock. You have enough time to recover. But it is day after day after day, going over pass after pass. So from a fitness perspective, I would say invest in it. Invest and you will have fun. If you don't invest, you'll do it. You might, ask to be transported with the luggage one day because you need a rest day. Lots of options are there. So if you do get injured, if you're not feeling well, if it's just not the right thing for you that day, they'll put you in the transport shuttle where the luggage goes and you can wait at the next place. So there are outs, but being fit really helps. A couple of things I would say is just finding something like West Tiger and doing it every day. You don't have to go into Mount Si, but slowly build up a training plan where you take, a 15-pound bag and just do something like West Tiger for a couple of days in a row. Just get your legs used to, getting on the trail every day.
Also, is there anything like as a backpacker that you would say is a piece of advice that most people don't think about, like something to have in the kit that people don't think about, or something that you do as a habit that you don't think about that is like, I feel like we need, like when I did stuff that is multiple days, taking care of your feet was important every day. Like if you have a
Absolutely.
blister, you attend to it way before it becomes a bigger issue. So it's like foot care was hugely, like the guys made sure we took care of our foot daily, like fresh socks, stuff like that. So is there any other piece of advice that you would give us?
I would say foot care, obviously you brought it up. Know your shoes, break in your shoes, sock system, whatever works for you. Have that dialed. Have your hydration dialed. I know that when it's hot, I love having some electrolytes. I always carry extra electrolytes. Any meds that you feel help you. And this could be from indigestion. Maybe you're not used to eating bread at the same rate that you get there. Like, you might be more of a rice, whatever it is. It sounds delicious on day 1, but many of us on day 7, we're happy to have some Pepsid AC, Tums, whatever helps with our stomach, just to, even with all the hiking and altitude. So I would say your footwear, your hydration, what works for you, and any medicine that you want. But the other big thing is learning to not carry things you don't need. I feel as backpackers and multi-day and going to a new country, you might end up carrying more out of fear. So letting go of some things and realizing that in this particular hike, there are villages, there are places to buy things. You'll get stuff if you need. So really listening to what the guide and the packing list is, and not throwing in like 8 t-shirts and 25 pairs of pants.
Makes sense. Do you recall how many miles you ended up hiking every day, like on an average, if it's like a 10-day hike?
No, I do not, but I think it would be something, it's like 10 miles every day, but on some days it was 2,000, some days 3,000
Yes,
feet elevation gain. And some days the trails are smoother and some days they're a little bit more steep. So you might end up doing short. It's like, you just did a Mount Side today. So it's not the miles, but you did one big
more of the
pass.
elevation. Yeah. And is there any places that you felt was like scary, or sections that had scrambling or something like that that made you worry if it was?
No scrambling, but if you look at like coming down Pupu, for example, right? For some people, that's a little steeper, or, like a little more scrambly. But the guide we had was very, very thoughtful about it and made sure that we hit those places when it was dry, when it was not crowded. So nothing too scary. And but I would say that, the trail is rugged. It's like not, a paved trail or a road throughout. So you should be comfortable going on. Yeah, I would say Pupu is a good example of the kind of terrain if you're comfortable with that, you'll be okay.
Well, that's good to know. Anything else you think you'd like to share, Malika? I think we've covered most of the things. Yeah.
No, are there any other questions that anybody had here?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, let's see. Okay. Yeah, so some of the questions, I think you can go on adventuretripper.com, and we have 4 trips up there, and that'll give you all the information regarding the dates, the pricing, and you can shoot an email to us at team@adventuretripper.com, and we can check on the availability and book you guys if you're interested in doing it this year. I think that's about it. I can't think of anything else. Thank you so much, Malika, for joining us and sharing all about your amazing experience. And we're all hoping to make this happen soon. I know I am, definitely. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. Good night. Take care.
Thanks, Chetna.
Thank you.